Hello everyone and welcome to today's Tuesday Times Roundtable. I see some of our regular faces, but in the event that you're here from Dr. Guess's class and have not otherwise been to a Tuesday Times Roundtable, I'm going to recruit you to go ahead and continue to come to these every Tuesday. On the front table where you sign in, if you didn't grab one, these blue schedule cards have the moderator and the topic of what we're talking about every single Tuesday. We're here every week, same time, same place, similar food. And the topics are pretty interesting. We have things going on about the social messages behind the Olympic ceremony that happened recently, business ethics and human trafficking, civility and freedom of speech is happening on Election Day. So that's just 4 of the 6 remaining sessions after today. So you can come join us for lunch on those days as well. And then if you grab this yellow circular flyer and sign up for this program, every session you attend gets you one step closer to earning our Global Learning Medallion, where you can actually wear this Global Learning Award to graduation, which entails a combination of things, including not only events like this, but internships, studying abroad, getting involved in clubs, service trips, taking global learning classes, and you get a lot of those opportunities sent to you once you're signed up, and some of them are even exclusive to Global Learning Medallion students. So a little self-promotion at my event because I can do that. So, but the reason we're here today is our moderator, Dr. Wendy Guess. Dr. Guess recently joined the FIU Department of Marketing to develop the Health and Fitness Marketing course and certificate program, which are meant to address the growing demand in those industries. She teaches as well marketing research. Her background and experience combines health promotion, marketing, nutrition, fitness, and social dance with her dynamic energy to the new program. Her vision is to continue to put South Florida on the map for all things health and fitness. Sounds like an amazing goal to me, and it sounds like very interesting programs here at FIU to do that. So thank you for being here, Dr. Guess.
Hello. Hello. Oh, we're on. Hi, everyone. How are you? Good. Is this like the best Tuesday ever? Oh, just say yes. Help me out here. Just say it's the best Tuesday ever because you're here. You're doing things that make you better students and better individuals for life. So like we said, as you'll notice, hopefully you all got one of the articles. And the article from the Tuesday Times Roundtable was all about the wonder cure. What's the wonder cure, so it says? I know. Who would have thought, right? So I have a question for you all. How many of you have been to the doctor ever? Okay. Has any doctor ever prescribed that? Everyone, they're starting to say this. I'm so excited to hear that. The message is getting out there. But there's still a lot of healthcare providers that aren't sharing this message yet. So why do you think it's so important that we have a whole, New York Times article about it? Well, so we have in the Academy of Medical Royal Colleges last year, they said in one of their articles that prevention is better than the cure. Let's think about that one for a minute. Prevention, better than a cure. So you've all heard a few sayings about prevention, yes? Stitch in time saves 9. What are some others? Ounce of prevention, pound of cure. Yes, there's some others. And in the article, they also said it was the best buy for public health. Woohoo! So why aren't we all just like jumping on the exercise bandwagon? Well, we'll come to that. Study after study. In the article, they probably referenced almost 100 different articles that have been done about exercise. From a medical perspective, from an exercise physiology perspective, from just a good overall wellness perspective. They looked at a variety of different studies that all came up pretty much with the same conclusion. Exercise is good for us. Go figure. So let's all jump up and do some exercise, right? Okay, no lunch first, I know. All right, so just to give you kind of a quick overview, some of the studies listed in the article had to do with like exercise and its benefits on chronic disease. Now, I can tell you as a Lyme's disease survivor, if that's the right word, I had Lyme's disease about 15 years ago, and it was not a fun time. And but I can definitely tell you that for me, certain kinds of exercise didn't work because of the after pain that it would cause. But guess what the most awesome exercise that helped me heal through Lyme's disease was? It involves music, a certain kind of music, local to this area. Salsa, yes. Salsa was the music that for me helped cure. Interestingly enough, I'm also a dance and music kind of history buff. This is sort of off topic, but it's kind of cool because you'll like it. So salsa is a mixture of many different rhythms, including some of the percussion rhythms of West Ghana. And West Ghana drumming and percussion have a certain rhythm that is just for healing. And guess what? That rhythm is also found in salsa music. So I didn't know at the time, but I found out years later that I literally was helping my body heal by moving to music. Okay, moving on. Musculoskeletal diseases and issues, okay? So it's like when we don't move, our body doesn't want to move. It's like a whole physics thing, right? What is some of the laws of physics? It's easier for an object to stay in motion than it is to start the motion, right? So same with our bodies. We were designed to move. We have levers and joints and things that make us efficient movers if we're in good posture. So I know when I don't get enough activity, my lower back gets kind of out of whack and my knees start to grumble at me. You've probably heard that. All right, and if you haven't, you'll start feeling the little crunchy kringles in your knees when you bend. Anybody there yet? You will be. Okay. Pain management, exercise and breathing is also an excellent. Hey, welcome. We got some great front row seats right here. Yes, and cardiovascular and aerobic. Well, that's sort of a no-brainer, right? Because moving requires oxygen. It just, it's just good for us. There's been some studies on depression, some studies on mobility, some studies about the benefits of exercise, particularly aerobic exercise with diabetes, prevention and care, and what's the opposite? You can get rid of certain types of diabetes through exercise and diet. You don't have to have it. I hear sound somewhere. My students know I'm like kind of, how would you say this? I'm an ADD professor, presenter. So I hear, do you hear this? Oh, okay. That's what I'm hearing. All right. So here's your first little quotable of the day. If you are so inclined to want to share and promote all the incredible information you're getting here at the Tuesday Times Roundtables, snap a picture. I know you all have your phones out. Go ahead. Snap a picture. Throw it up on your social media. Let's be engaged. No, it's okay, really. Get your phones out. So we'll have a few of these. So, yeah, I'd like you guys to be involved. It just says, that you're like, you got it going on, right? Okay, so here's the first thing. If exercise is the wonder cure, then healthcare and wellness have a marketing mismatch, right? Because what is most of our doctors still prescribing? Well, we'll just say everything but exercise, right? And we would like the prescription to be more about exercise. And I don't mean like just, the grunt in the gym kind of exercise, but movement. Movement is a good thing. All right? So here's where the marketing mismatch happens, both in branding promotion, education, and protocol. Do you realize that thanks to our infinite wisdom in education curriculum, you have maybe 2 health classes, if you're lucky, and a few physical education classes throughout your whole 12 years? And then, and one of those might be a health class specifically, and then we don't require it in college. So where are you supposed to become health literate or knowledgeable about health, wellness, and fitness? Where does that happen? Yeah, you have to go find it out on your own. That, to me, is where we have a huge mismatch. That should be our number one priority to teach all of us. Because without a healthy body, what good is our brain? Think about that one. Okay, I know I need to find like a... All right, so let's look at maybe the real cure. So balancing in healthcare and wellness changes. So we do need to make some changes or to match up the marketing message. All right, and for those of you that are not marketing majors, I'm not referring to like sales and promotion or advertising. I'm referring to the entire process of everything that goes involved in creating an exchange, whether it's an exchange of ideas, an exchange of an experience, and an exchange of cash for a product. Okay, all those are exchange systems. And marketing talks about everything involved in producing that exchange, from the interaction to how do we brand it, how do we label it, how do we package it, how do we ship it. All of those things involved in inform marketing, and then finally they inform the sales process. Okay, but let's jumping back into balancing health care and wellness changes. So we have changes at work, changes at home, and changes with ourselves. So here's another one of those click, click moments. Hint, hint. We have a couple chairs right there. Just saying, if you want to grab your phones out and social media this and post it up there somewhere and just say, hey, yeah, look where I was today, because I'm a smart student. All right, so here's an interesting concept I want you guys to think about. And we're going to use the term customer very loosely. But a healthy customer is a loyal customer. Now, we're not talking just about the customer that buys something. We're talking about, to your physician, you, the patient, are the customer. To parents, their children are the customer. To educators, our students are the customer. So to all of our customers, when you're healthy, you're more loyal, because we've taken care of you. All right, so let's just kind of brainstorm here for a minute, because I've talked long enough. It's your turn. So what is a loyal and healthy customer? Never complains about the price? Interesting. Although, if we're not talking about, let's say, for example, to add on to that, maybe it's not a monetary price, maybe it's a commitment price. We might hesitate, but if we really get the big picture and if we're really feeling healthy, then yes, we wouldn't be complaining, except the normal complaining. Listen, you had your hand, and then so healthy students and employees. I think of the word productivity. We're going to be more productive, which is good for everybody, right? Because you're having such a good time with it that you want to bring your friends around too. Excellent. Okay. So here's a little concept. You can take a picture of that one too if you want. But that's from Brainy Quote. All right, and actually from Leo Tolstoy. Nice Russian author. Okay, everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself or herself. Right? It's always easier to give the advice than to take it. I just want to throw that out there for, food for thought, because it's one thing to tell everybody else how we all need to change. It's another thing to be willing to go through that change of habit. So, We're going to pull in a few health and fitness marketing concepts because, hey, that's what I teach. And that's kind of my passion. So I got to spend my whole life being in health and fitness and promoting it. And now I get to teach and tell everything I ever loved to talk about to my students. It's all good. All right, so let's look at that. We want to be the people who are inspiring and influencing individuals to make positive, healthy change. Because it just doesn't happen on its own. And it just doesn't happen when we flip on a switch and go, oh, I'm changed, new me, right? It just doesn't happen that way. So we have to figure out the process of getting us to change as well as inspiring others to be able to change habits, to get better habits, right? So for those in the back, in case you can't read, it says, come on, Bob, didn't you hear the NCO? We all need to embrace change. Of course, he's melting. But and then this one I heard again recently, 2,000 plus years ago, a Roman statesman. I mean, he had it right on the money. If you wish to persuade me, you must think my thoughts, feel my feelings, and speak my words. It sounds like some other sayings we've probably heard more recently. I'm reminded of a Native American saying about, walk a mile in my moccasins. Y'all heard that one? And there's probably something in every language and culture that talks about that. So how do we inspire and influence change? Well, like we said, it just doesn't happen like that. I mean, yes, you might have a heart attack and then something changed, but that doesn't mean your habits still will change. So we want to figure out the process. What are the steps to making change happen successfully? Because we can all start a new habit for a week, and then stress gets in the way, right? Yeah, so we're finding that when we use the behavioral change sciences, as we are going through, the process of change, we're going to have a much more successful time with it. And so just really quick in a nutshell, those 5 stages of change identified in the trans-theoretical model, or stages of change, are what I call like kind of non-compliance, like forget it, I'm not doing this one. And that's pre-contemplation. I am like, don't even talk to me about it because it's not happening. Or maybe I just don't have time. Literally, I can't fit it. Okay? We're just not even thinking about it. All right? The next one, contemplation, it's like you've started to build some awareness. Like, yeah, okay, there's pros and cons. Yeah, I can kind of see where it would be a good idea. Yeah, I'm thinking about it anyway. All right? And then we have preparation. So like, this is the most critical part. And this is what most programs and prescriptions forget to do, is that whole process of preparing. Preparing to meet all the roadblocks, all the setbacks, all the stress moments, all those things that get in the way of really successful, long-term, healthy, positive change. That was a mouthful. Right? So when we spend time in that planning session or the preparation stage, then things get to really happen because now we've prepared. We've got a support group in mind. We know who to reach out and call when we hit that wall and we think we can't go on. Well, after all of those, if you notice, they're kind of all like the inside of the mind things. And then we get to the action stage. That's where we actually take the steps towards change. But because we've prepared, we're ready. I mean, you wouldn't think of climbing, what's the mountain over there, the tallest, well, any mountain for that matter, but the really tall one? Yeah, I mean, would you go to Everest with just like what you're wearing on your back? Yeah, I mean, well, some of us probably would. But most likely, you'd have to go through some process of preparation before you are ready to climb. Okay? And that's what this is all about. Then we take action, and we got to take some consistent long-term action and get through all of those pitfalls, roadblocks, mental stops, all of that for about 6 months before we can really say that we're in maintenance mode. Now, does maintenance mode mean we're done with the journey? No, that just means we're not having to struggle with it every day. We can wake up and most, 99% of the time we're I'm good with this. Like, you get in your car, hopefully, and you put your seatbelt on. You don't have to like struggle with that decision still, I hope. Right? Yes? Okay. Things like that. So it's like, hopefully, we wake up in the morning, we take care of our, personal hygiene or teeth brushing. All those kinds of things are habits. They're decisions that we've already planned and prepared for, so we don't have to keep making. And that's where we want to get. So most of you have heard like habits, oh, this only takes 21 days. No, that's like just to introduce yourself to the habit. But to really feel like you've made a change, you got to kind of go about 6 months. Not to deter you, but just to know that it's like that's a more substantial goal. Okay, how are we doing on time? Almost good. Okay, so here's another one of those quotables. Wherever you are in the process of change, you can make progress. And that's the good news of the day. Wherever you are, you can make progress. Now, in the article, he talks about, and just some little examples. In the article, the author, he's got some really cool videos on YouTube, too. So I would encourage you to go and watch some of them. Some very insightful, thoughtful pieces that he does. It's called Healthcare Triage, I believe. And so he talks about trying out some different exercise programs. And it took several before he found one that works for him, right? And that's the whole idea. Any exercise program is good or bad. The difference is the one that's good is the one that you'll do, right? Because, it can be the greatest thing in the world, but if you don't do it, it doesn't matter. So we want to find, you want to get out there and try a bunch of different ones. Find the one that works for you. In his case, the walk between his office and the other office, or the lab, I think it was, took about 30 to 45 minutes of his day, and he had to do it, and it was great, and it was just the right, time and pace for him. The great news is, even more so, in exercise, you don't have to be like the athlete, the Olympiad. That was the Olympians. You don't have to be that. The best kind of exercise we can do actually is the moderate to vigorous activity for about 30 minutes to an hour a day. That's why I'm a little biased, but that's why dance is such the perfect activity, because you can do it for about an hour and you don't feel like you're working. And then you've got the music and hopefully some people or not, because, depending on if you're dancing like no one's watching or you're dancing like everyone's watching, you've got that support that sort of distracts you from the grunt of the work. And so literally, a few years ago, well, a lot of years ago, hi, we got space right down there. So, like sometimes it's one of those things you can keep going and you don't realize that you're getting all that wonderful activity in and all the good endorphins. The only downside is certain places haven't discovered that dance is really a good form of exercise, and they pair it with activities or locations that really aren't very healthy. Ours. Yeah. Right, so it's like here you are, you're trying to get all this wonderful, excellent oxygen breathing in, and there's over there smoking. You're like, I'm not. Yes, so be aware of your surroundings. Okay. Now, in my health and fitness marketing classes, and hopefully you too, we do some activities to help inspire positive, healthy change. So we're going to do a little activity now because you've been sitting for a few minutes listening to me. And now it's your turn. So hopefully if you'll turn to like a buddy next to you or two, maybe 2 or 3, and just kind of pal around. And here's what I'd like you to do, because we're doing this project here on campus that I'm really excited about. We're looking for all the health, wellness, fitness, nutrition types of activities all over campus, and we're trying to create a database of all of those places to remind us that wherever we are in the process, we can make progress. And also to kind of highlight how we are, there are places everywhere to be healthy and well and fit and nutritious. So what I'd like you to do with your little neighbor, or two or three, is maybe on the back of your page, start writing down like things that you know of on campus that might fit into one of those 4 categories. And sorry if I don't have pens. Or type it on your phone. I don't care. Take notes in your notes on your phone, whatever that looks like. Okay? So take about 2 minutes really fast and just like kind of jot what you can from memory. Ready? Go. Actually, 1 minute.
They're writing like the activities, like some
healthy activities you can do.
You can do on campus.
On campus. Oh, okay.
You got about like 2 or 3 things on your list. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. So hopefully we all have at least 1 or 2 things. So I'm going to quickly in your group, you're going to designate by finger pointing who's going to be the spokesperson. And then just graciously say thank you. To the people that chose you. Oh, I love this. They're doing the rock, paper, scissors. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to do like a rapid fire. Yoo-hoo. We're going to do a quick rapid fire around the room and starting, and just kind of weaving up and down the rows. And we're going to hear at least one idea from each of the partnerships. Ready? What? Question? Oh, you're just ready to go. So we're going to, you're ready? All right. So let's start right here, and we're just going to kind of weave on down. So spokespeople, watch who's going right before you and get ready. Okay, rapid fire, Bill.
So taking the stairs versus taking the elevator.
Awesome. Next.
Going to the nature preserve.
Awesome. Over here.
Oh man, let's see, tennis or soccer.
Tennis or soccer. Awesome.
We did breezeway.
Breezeway.
Like the one by the.
Oh, what about it?
Housing block. Well, you're able to socialize.
Oh, socializing. Excellent. I'm glad you reminded that's like a good mental health thing. Okay, next.
Swimming at the Biscayne Bay campus is another one.
Ooh, and we have nice buses that go over there back and forth too. Great. Next.
Eat healthier at salad creations and juice.
Eat healthier. We do have a couple places on campus. Yes.
There's like a trail by the nature preserve that has like little workout areas.
Yes, aren't those fun?
Visiting the wellness center.
Visiting the wellness center. Awesome. Let's see. Let's go here.
CrossFit classes at the gym.
CrossFit classes at the gym. Does everybody know where our recreation center is? Well, you should. Okay, you're there.
It's
Okay.
part of the preserve.
Right, it's right next to the preserve, the dorms, and the arena, all that. Okay. Basketball court, yes.
Yoga.
Yoga. Does it have to be in the rec center?
Sure, yoga in the rec center.
I mean, no, does it have to be?
Oh, no, not necessarily.
Right, because we have all these wonderful grassy areas that make great yoga hangouts. Okay, and you had a suggestion.
So clubs can even do as fundraisers. Some of our clubs have done this rather than bake sales and stuff. Do soccer tournaments, 5Ks, or healthy things that people can do.
Yes. Okay.
They do massages, acupuncture, meditation, CAPS.
CAPS.
Counseling services.
Counseling and psychological services. Really? They do massage?
Yeah, they do it there.
Did you all hear that? We've got the awesomest campus. Okay, who's next?
They have a
Oh, Zumba classes at the gym. Okay. All right. Listen to the other half.
You can go to the bike shop and buy campers.
We have a bike shop to fix your bikes. Or rent them too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you just saying the gym?
There's a what?
The gym, just visiting the gym here?
Yes. The exercise and track and all that kind of stuff. Okay, where's next? Yes.
Intramural sports.
Intramural sports. Awesome.
Just walking.
Walking. Yeah, we do that once in a while, don't we? Yeah.
Volleyball court?
Volleyball court by the pool. That was the 3 of you, right?
Maybe was it based in the Burger King?
That smoothie instead of Burger King. Yes. Okay?
FIU rugby.
FIU rugby. Woo! My son plays rugby. Yeah, that's a fun sport. Awesome. Look at all these incredible ideas that you guys came up with, right? Give yourselves a round of applause. Good job. Okay, that also kind of woke you up a little bit too. And you thought applause was just for fun. Okay, so how many of you are on Twitter? All right, here's who I want you to follow, like right now. Healthy Campus Week. Oh, I can't even read what it is. It's Healthy Living, FIU Healthy Living. Go follow them. Like, go follow everything FIU. Right? Just do a search FIU, and then all these other things will pop up, like FIU Marketing, all the FIU professors, all these activities. Did you know we have a farmer's market here on campus that's run by students, just like you all? Yes, I'm their faculty advisor. I'm so lucky. And yes, it's on Wednesdays from 10 to 2. Like now they're bringing all kinds of food in from different places. Well, not food, but like produce from local growers. And last week they made homemade guacamole right there. They sometimes will do juice, like freshly juiced juices. Herbal teas from some from the garden, some from various good sources. So there's like all kinds of really cool stuff going on campus. All right, now here's the question of the day. What's going to be your role in this wonderful process of change? So look, we got 4 roles to play. Which one are we going to choose? All right. The hero, the narrator. Okay, so let's kind of, just to help clarify, let's go over some of them. The victim. Oh, well, I just can't do it. Everybody's against me. The whole world is against me. Every time I try to exercise, I break my toe. And then I tried to go on a diet and it made me sick. Right? And it's like it's all everyone else's fault. Okay, that's the victim. Do we want to play that role? There's enough of us already out there playing that role. Okay, and then kind of on that same side, well, let's that same perspective, but the opposite. Instead of the victim, what if you were just the observer or the narrator of your life? Does that mean you have to be like emotionally bogged down by all the things happening to you? No, you're just kind of like reporting it. Oh, well, yeah, so this diet happened, and well, this happened this first day. This is, I'm just going to jump out. If our athletes could jump into this mode more, the narrator mode, instead of the victim mode, they would play like in a completely different game. And then sports psychology talks about all this very issue right here. Are they the victim? Oh, man, the basket's messed up. The mound's messed up. It's like there's always an excuse, right? And we've heard them, we've seen them, we've probably done a few. But the narrator, what's the narrator going to do? Okay, so they're making their free throw shot. Let's see. Okay, the arc was maybe a little bit off, so I can adjust it next time and make it better. Right? It's just, you're just kind of playing it like, just telling it like it is. You don't have to get bogged down with all the emotions. Okay, then there's the villain. Right? They're the ones that wants to make the story like, they want to make you the victim. All right? And there's plenty of those out there too, but hopefully, we don't have to do that. And then there's the hero. Somebody said they wanted to be the hero. The hero is the one that's out there basically, like, let me help you get there. The only caution I would say to the heroes is don't forget to be your own hero too. Because sometimes you can get lost being everybody else's hero. Just a little food for thought there. Speaking of food. That was an awesome lunch, wasn't it? Yay. Thank you for an awesome lunch. All right. So to kind of wrap up here, remember our definition of customers? give your customers, whoever they are, a life-changing experience. A good life-changing experience. So whatever your role is, whatever you're doing to make change, to make the world a better place, to make your world a better place. I saw a quote, the other one, it was kind of cute. I don't know if I put it in here. I didn't, darn it. So it was kind of like the difference between matter and change. So it's like when you're matter, unless you're, like matter, it has to be like moving at the twice the speed of light, and then your energy. So it's like be the energy that matters. Ah. Okay, so, but, give yourselves, give your customers, give everybody, whether you're in business, whether you're in education, entrepreneurial, whatever it is, give the people around you a life-changing experience. So with that, hopefully we can have some awesome discussion, and hopefully you'll share some of those wonderful ideas that you all came up with on campus. If you would please tweet at me. Would you really? Tweet those ideas at me, because we're compiling all those together in our class, because we want to really showcase how awesome FIU really is. All right, so thoughts, questions? Let's have it. Oh, there you are, sorry. Oh, it is. So I teach a course called Health and Fitness Marketing in the marketing department. And then I also teach, a really exciting one called marketing research. But that's where we put on our little detective hats and we try to figure out what people are really saying when they're not saying it. And then the health and fitness marketing is about applying these kinds of principles as we, help change lives. All right, so next question. Yes? Oh, it's in the breezeway, right outside the library, on Wednesdays between 10 and 2, tomorrow. How awesome is that? And I know they're going to be baking some really cool stuff tonight to share. What? They have some little, usually gluten-free muffins and stuff, but they taste awesome. You'd never know they weren't gluten-free. They bring the juices, the herbal teas. They have homemade soaps. Ooh, yeah. Homemade soaps. Last week they had some soy-based candles with lavender essential oil that I've just been smelling all week because it's that amazing. Yes. So all kinds of, and these are things being made by students. And then did you also know that we have our own student-run garden? All organic? It's in the nature preserve. They take care of it, yeah. And then there's classes that come out and study it, and so they always are happy to have volunteers. If you want to learn more about something, the best way is to go volunteer there, right? And it's free education. And that brings up a really important way of sharing. Because right, what did we say? Change is a journey. Oh, I don't know if I said that or not. Yeah, it is a process. Change is a process. Change is a journey. It's not a destination. So if we're all being the change that we want to see, thanks, Gandhi. If we're all being that change, then we're all on that journey. So if we're sharing on social media our journey, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the positives, the negatives, then it's like her, she's sharing her journey, and it's right. Yeah, here's the reality. Right. Yeah, so It's being real with it. Not just like, oh, look, here's the best workout of the day, right? But, talking about it. When you're posting, what would you rather read about? A cute picture or somebody's like heartfelt experience around that picture? Great points, great points. And it really is about bringing it back home. Because what's the whole point of being social anyway? I mean, like social online. Isn't it to still find people to talk to, connect with, people that feel like you? Right. So it's like if we're busy telling about everything else instead of us, then are we really connecting? Right. Yes. And that's what the conferences I've been to recently, that is the message of the day. That if you're really going to be an excellent company, an excellent marketing, excellent branding from a company perspective, then it's about reaching out and finding those personal connections, those personal stories. Because, we're done with the 5,000 ads a day that keep bombarding us. That's what they're saying it's up to now. Up to 5,000 ads we're being exposed to every day. Ew. Okay, so it's just kind of like, it's like ad pollution, if you will, right? And so, but what's really going to catch our eye? Somebody's real story, right? And that's what you're going to start seeing more of, thank goodness, is more, real stories. I don't know, if you follow the Facebook ads, and they're probably on Instagram as well, not ads, but, the little videos of some of the companies that have done some cool things over the years, like the flash mob done by T-Mobile years ago. Is it already that time? It's going so fast. Right, the flash mob videos. So here on campus, our carry on to that is we do activities called Flash Fitness at FIU, right? Look for those. Generally on Wednesdays when I have class. But, just random ways to just jump in and do a little bit of fun. The kind of PE for adults that Didn't you guys have fun at PE classes? No? Sorry. Yeah, because, we had a lot of coaches that were not trained right. Hey, that's another whole story. We won't get into that one now. But yes, so, the social kind of things. Yes, did that? Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, so the default is, lose or pay. But let's flip it over. What are some other companies that do something like that, but on the opposite end of the spectrum? Like Shula Burger. My son was visiting last month, and apparently Shula Burger has this thing where if you eat this giant plate of like 2 large fries and onion rings, plus the hamburger, all in an hour, you get it for free. Otherwise, it's like 30-something bucks. Okay, so on the flip side, there's, there is that incentive, and it does work for a lot of people. But the posting every day is one way of creating some accountability, right? Because now it's like you feel accountable to somebody else to go, okay, yeah, I got to post that I'm here. So there is some positives there. The downside, of course, is, well, if you didn't meet your goal, and then you have to pay, and then, what kinds of psychological things are you going to do to yourself? Oh, man, I didn't do it again. I can't afford this. I messed up. I'm no good. Now I'm fat. Okay, now this is like, the female mind maybe. But, it's like, oh, I didn't make it there, and now I'm late, and then I didn't get this, and then this happened, and then this happened, and oh, I'm fat. Going back to bed. Right, so there's there's a pro and con. Hopefully the right mentality will be attracted to that offer. And then, going back to what I said earlier, really it's the exercise that you will do that's the best one for you. So, I've worked in health gyms, fitness clubs. I've done fitness assessments. I've worked probably in just about every industry in the health and wellness business. I don't like going to a gym. I'd much rather be outdoors. I'd much rather be teaching a class than being a student, exercise-wise, But, it's like the idea is find what works for you. And be willing to try lots of different things. And hopefully that kind of sort of answered. Yes. Hey, post that one too. Did you all post your ideas? Yes? No? Come on. Oh, I'm on Instagram too. Any one of the Dr. Wendy guesses, you'll find me. Yeah, post it on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever. Just post it. Because we're collecting. And then if you would and post it there too. Because we want to like flood the school with all things good and healthy. So here's the question before we wrap up real quick. How many of you are on Instagram? Okay. For Twitter? A little bit less. Facebook? I know, it's so passé now. Right? Okay. So it looks like more of you. And then the rest of you that didn't raise your hand, what do you want? What? Who? Tumblr. Okay. Tumblr. Isn't that more pictures? Hobby and kind of stuff? Ah, okay. So yeah, so it's like, how many of you follow something at FIU? Like the FIU main page? Or their main thing? Any specifics at FIU, like FIU honors? Well, that's a good thing. You know what's going on in your office. Yeah, what else you could follow? Study abroad page. We got a couple of awesome ones in the marketing department. Just saying. Yeah. Plant-based society. Just like plants. Plants are good. Yes. Who else follows something cool? Oh, the tuners, musical tuners. Yes, it's called sound therapy. And, it's amazing. And they have all the different keys and they play it. And did you know your body is a bunch of frequency? Energy, matter, that's all it is, frequency. So when your frequency is all out of whack, it's like, I don't know, like dial-up radio, right? You're just a bunch of static. But when we put everything back into harmony, it's all good. Oh, cool. So all kinds of fun things. Uh-oh, I lost my page. Before you run away, please, I would love you guys to do this for me. Not right this second, but sometime soon. Yeah, like you'd walk by it and never know. Okay, so here's a study, some research I'm doing myself, personally, that I've done for the last 6 years, based on dance, based on health, based on behavior change, all of that. I have like a little profile quiz that talks about how we approach change, and you get assigned a dance. You don't have to know the dance, you just get, like as the personality title. So it's on right up here on my website, drwendyguest.com, and then look for the little What's Your Dance quiz. And I would love it if you guys would take that and send me some feedback, because, like kind of seeing where everybody is. All right. Any other thoughts, questions? Do you have an official ending, or we're just... All right. Well, thank you all. It was awesome.